It's time for the youth of Kenya to unite, come together and agree on one agenda. Kenya and Kenyans deserve better. Deserve a better tomorrow, deserve a better future, development, school, health, you name it. It is time for change. And that change starts with you and I. Listen to what Paulo Kimani had to say about this.
Vijana mnajuaniaje? Na sasa hivi ile iko, let me just say this. I know I've said it before, but I'm going to say it again. Vijana lazima tuungane pamoja. Alright? Lazima tupatane. We need to move the conversation from online, just lamenting and whining. Lazima tupatane kama vijana. I don't know where, I don't know when, but it needs to be soon. To agree on agenda moja, what we want for this country. Because as it is right now, the ones running the show in the politics washaungana. Kuna bill nimeona mituma mahali, and money is being distributed among those who call themselves kingpin. Agenda ya tribalism? No. Wachana na. Agenda ya sijui wa mlima? No. We need to come together and speak as the youth of Kenya. Not just in Nairobi, Mombasa, Nakuru, Kisumu, kila mahali. Lazima tupatane tukuwe na agenda moja. But I'm going to make this very brief. That is the only way we are going to have one voice and demand a seat at the table. Alright? Thank you very much.
Tunataka barabara kutoka bypass, kutoka 44 ikuje mpaka Windsor, itoke Windsor ifike Ruaka, itoke Ruaka ikuje mpaka Limuru, itoke Limuru irudi Kino, itoke Kino irudi mpaka Njoro, ikikufika hapa Njoro ienda Digitare, itoke hapo irudi mpaka 44 tena ienda hadi bypass Kisumu.
Wow.
Thank you so much for joining us on today's show. I'm your host, Elvis Derry. See you in the next one. Bye-bye.
We're coming for you.
The problem is not the citizens of Kenya. The problem is the leadership.
Hello, how are you? Welcome back to Show New Trend. I'm of Day, and my name is Elvis Derry. If you had the opportunity to write a letter to your fellow Kenyan citizens, what message would you share? Will it be words of unity, hope, change, or a call to action? Let your voice be heard. Listen to this.
This is a letter particularly to us, wananchi wa Kenya, sisi, mimi, kila mtu ambaye anatazama hivi na ni Mkenya. This is a letter to us, the citizens of the Republic of Kenya. Now, I know most of us want accountability, end of corruption, and dignity in itself from the highest offices, the government, and that's particularly a good thing to look forward to from your government. But I want us to look inside, introspective. Si tuna demand, tunataka accountability, tunataka corruption iishe, but deep down in our homes tukienda nyumbani, do we actually apply the same principles that we put outside for the expectation? I want us to look at the things that I will list down and say, mimi nafanyanga hivyo, au mimi sifanyangi hivyo. Yes, corruption is such an evil tool that has been used since time immemorial, since we got independence. But also, we use corruption in itself for our own benefit. Number one, have you ever simamishwa na polisi kwa gari ukapeana bribe because that's the easier route and you are on the wrong? Ukapeana bribe, you're on the wrong. so that you don't go to court. That's corruption. If you're using fake permits for your businesses, that's corruption. If any way you're trying to evade tax in the wrong way, that's still corruption. Then how are we expecting accountability from the top, while in fact ourselves, in our innate nature, we're the most corrupt individuals ourselves? Then come 2027, when you're saying we need a new leader, a new regime, a new freshness, smell of new leaders, and yet us ourselves, we can't even act the way that we are asking our leaders to act. Number 2, do we throw trash kwa barabara? Do we litter the environment that we're living in? Then how do we expect the government to provide a scenic route for us while sisi ndo tunachafua? Ya 3, do you or do we speak ill of other tribes tukikuwa nyumbani kwetu? Not in the major public. No. Tukifika home, shags kwa nyumba. Do I say, ile tribe ingine wanafanyanga ndio maana wako hivi? Then how are we expecting a country to end tribalism when we are the same ones who are still igniting the fire of hii tribe iko na ile? Wakenya wenzangu, do we pay our domestic workers the right wage, the right amount of money? Do we treat them with dignity? Ya kwamba huyu ni mwanadamu kama mimi, huyu ni Mkenya kama mimi mwenzangu, so that when we expect the government to pay our workers with a good amount of money, are we doing the same so in our homes, in our home states? Let's talk about abductions. In our own homes, we are using the same nature of violence to rule in our homes through gender-based violence, domestic violence in itself. Either a husband beating their wife to death or vice versa, of a wife to the husband. Imekuwa kitu normal. We are saying it's not just an issue anymore. Imekuwa ule amecha bibi yake, this one has killed the husband, this one has killed the wife. It's become a nature in our news and it's normal. How do we expect to change a Kenya, a new transformative Kenya, while in our own homes we are using torture, we are using ways of abduction literally in our own homes? Then difference yetu na watu wameabducta watu itakuwa nini? And gender-based violence. Mtu akikubo, mwambie aende, sawa. There's no need for that, for you to kill or to hurt or to beat or torture them. Wakenya wenzangu, I hope you're hearing this. It's not to bash you, but for us to look deeply in our hearts, to reflect that when we need a new transformative Kenya, when we need a new Kenya, as we say, it starts with what? The simple, minute things that we do in our daily activities to change Kenya. Do we overlap kwa barabara? Umeona, hiyo jam imekaa sana, wacha nipite hivi. Why not obey simple traffic rules that will make us a better Kenya, a better functioning system, both on roads, on land, in whatever area? And I know corruption in itself has become a norm. It's like a way of survival more than moral decay. It's a way of, hiyo ni kawaida yetu. That's in our culture. That's in my blood. Kama Kenya. But I also want to just pose a question of, we can change that. And I think the Gen Z movement changed a lot in this country. And I also believe, tunaweza anza hiyo sai. Tukisema tunataka a good leader in 2027, it starts with us. Because how are we going to vote in the ballot? Not with a mindset of tribalism, of who we ametoka wapi, if we don't start now. Who are we to seek and ask for accountability? Mwenye tunajazana kwa matatu, unajaa hivi, hakuna space, lakini bado unakaa chini because you need to go somewhere. Mbona tusiseme, hiyo mati imejaa, I'll wait for the next one. Mine is not to bash us, but to encourage us to say that we all need to make a better Kenya, all of us, and it starts with us. Those who are in high positions of government who have been corrupt.
God.
From Ian Njoroge case withdrawn.
It's a day we've been long awaiting for, and finally it has reached.
To corrupt traffic police officers arrested. Are we eating cat meat?
Jamaa amebeba paka imekufa kwa kabunia.
school children tear gassed. Hello, how are you? Welcome back to Show New Trend. I'm of the day and my name is Elvis Derry. Ian Njoroge, aka the GOAT, has finally been set free after his case of assault towards a police officer has been withdrawn. Police Corporal Jacob Ogendo forgave Ian Njoroge after Mike Sonko's intervention, and this is what Ian Njoroge had to say after his release. Listen to this.
First of all, thank the Lord for this day. It's a day we've been long awaiting for, and finally it has reached. For all the support I've received especially from former Governor Mike Sonko. He's been with us to the core until to the last time. I really thank him for all the help he's given us. For my parents too, my mother, my father, for the support they've been with me, and all parties involved. Thank you, and may God bless you all.
The DPP also withdrew robbery with violence case against Comrade Ian Njoroge. The legal team was led by Wakili Duncan Okach, Kenneth Cheza, Angela Wanjiru, and the assistant Angela Kamau. And this is what Mike Sonko had to say.
The lawyers have covered everything. Ian, the mother, managed to thank Corporal Jacob Ogendo for the good gesture he has portrayed. You know very well he was my bodyguard when I was an MP. So we are very thankful. We also want to thank the judiciary. We want to thank the DPP, the lawyers. We all of us saw this process together as a team. Kwa hivyo yetu ni kuwashukuru. Na sana Ogendo, you are a parent. Thank you very much for what you have done to Ian. Na wewe Ian, enda kwa kijana mzuri. Sawa? Next time unapiga askari kuna chuma, unaelewa? So cheza chini, punguza hasira. You're still a young boy, you have a long way to go. Sawa? Yeah. Be good. Tuendelee na maisha. Thank you very much.
So before you continue, just take a look at this video of Ian Njoroge, Comrade Ian Njoroge injecting.
God.
Drama ensued in Kitui County after Ikanga MCA Cyrus Kisavi was dramatically arrested by DCI detectives. Just take a look at this.
Kwa nini mna black mkwetu? Kwa nini mnafanya black shell pachama? Wewe nyinyi akina nani? Nyinyi akina nani mnafanya black shell? Wewe mjintroduce bwana. Wewe kubwa. Nyinyi ni akina nani? Introduction si mbaya. Hiyo ni abduction bwana. Hapana. Kwa nini hamjampea ajilete? Kwa nini mnakuja kufanya abduction leo tuko na mambo ya chama? Hapana, hii ni abduction bwana.
So, if you're yourselves Kenyans, why is Ikanga Ward MCA Cyrus Kisavi Musyoka being arrested? He will be arraigned in Kitui law courts over allegations of forging vehicle documents to defraud the county assembly of 2.2 million shillings Kenyans. He is accused of submitting false documents for reimbursement. The case stems from a complaint by Rose Kivate Ngoima, leading the DPP to recommend 5 charges, including conspiracy to commit a felony and forgery. This is clear that even sometimes the voters can be wrong. Next time, 2024, vote wisely and make sure the Gen Zs, the young people out there, take your IDs as early as possible.
My fellow young people, the Gen Z, it is high time we understand the politics of our country. We must understand what role politics play in our lives. And until we get politically mature, we will always be maneuvered, swayed, or deceived into supporting people politically, those who don't have Kenyan interest at heart.
Are you a lover of street foods? Chief Environment Officer Geoffrey Mosiria, he caught a man with a dead cat inside a bag, which was going to be allegedly used to prepare street foods, especially Mutura delicacy. Kenyans, just take a look at this.
So, mkiangalia hapa ni town. Tumepata jamaa amekaa hapa. Na jamaa kona paka imekufa. Jamaa amebeba paka imekufa kwa kabunia. Jamaa, angalia. Mkiangalia hapa ni jamaa town katikati. Mtu tumempata amekaa hapa na paka imekufa. Ni kama alikuwa anataka kuenda sijui kuikula ama kuifanyia nini?
Hapana, yeye anaenda kuchanganya na motura. Ambapo mnakula motura. Kumbe hiyo motura ni paka, sawa? Huyu mjamaa alikuwa amekachora, sawa? Alikuwa amekachora. Sasa ni kitu ajui. Si ndio? Alikuwa amesunda hapa Masai ifike asongeshe ripo. Sawa, ukikuja Masako kula motura, mother paka kumbe umekunywa paka.
Si ndio? Hiyo ni ukweli. Hiyo ni ukweli.
Hiyo ndio ukweli.
Hivyo inakuwa vijana wa mtaa ameniambia hivi. Ati huyu jamaa alikuwa amekasunda hapo, anategea matime zake zifike. Alafu apime hiyo rieng aende nao wapi?
Hata unaona kitu shuka bama uone
kikosi bama. So hii ni motorai.
Police officers in Meru County fired tear gas at Njukinjiru Primary School, causing panic among pupils as they choked on fumes. Officers were dispersing Nkabune residents, protesting poor road conditions when demonstrators sought refuge in the school. Police officers followed and threw tear gas canisters, exposing school children to harmful smoke during class. Just take a look at this. And that's not all, Kenyans. A steel company called Tononoka in Mole Mode is emitting poisonous gases and radioactive materials, which will eventually biologically cause breathing complications to the residents. Just check this out.
Wow. Tononoka jo.
From Ian Joroge case with drone.
It's a day we've been long awaiting for, and finally it has reached.
To corrupt traffic police officers arrested. Are we eating cat meat?
Jamaa amebeba paka imekufa kwa kabunia.
School children tear gassed.
Politics play in our lives, and until we get politically mature, we will always be maneuvered, swayed or deceived into
Ni kama alikuwa anataka kuenda sijui kuikula ama kuifanyia nini?
Hapana, yeye anaenda kuchanganya na motura.
Road conditions when demonstrators
zifike. Alafu apime hiyo rieng aende nao wapi?
Hata unaona kitu shuka bama uone kikosi.
And that's not all, Kenyans. As a blogger for hire, like he's being paid to post stories in his social media handles. Let's listen to what he had to say.
Before you
the organization I work for
on your social media pages,
who is not paid.
Jo.
We all know MCA Robert Alai.
Noka jo.
Hii na kama wingu.
Bu imagine watu wanaishi kwa ile goro man.
Hata kuwa watu wa watu.
Mole matuna CSR nini?
Viongozi huku kama walidedi man.
We. Tononoka jo.
We all know MCA Robert Alai, who is also a blogger. He has publicly admitted that he is a blogger for hire, like he's being paid to post stories in his social media handles. Let's listen to what he had to say.
Before you became an MCA, many people knew Robert Alai as a blogger.
Yes.
Have you ever been paid to publish something about someone or an organization on your social media pages?
Who is not paid?
Oh, okay.
Not, for you to do everything in this world, you are paid. But paid by who?
Okay.
Are you paying yourself? Are you finding ways of monetizing your work? Are you, for you to be a journalist, if somebody asks you that you are a journalist, are you paid to write stories? You are paid, yes, but by who?
Okay.
You see, I pay myself or by the organization I work for. So I'm paid, but by the organization I work for.
So an enemy of somebody has ever paid you to?
No, you don't do that. In fact, I find it hard because, I'm not a believer in trending things. I don't believe I don't believe in those things, because I don't believe, and that's why I give my opinions. You don't find me tweeting a lot about the same issue. I tweet once, then I say how, because I just want to give my objective truth and leave the people to judge. If they judge that I'm wrong, sawa. If they judge that I'm right, sawa.
Dear motorists, are you not tired of corruption on our roads in a daily basis every day? Like recently, the EACC arrested 3 traffic police officers allegedly collecting bribes along the Naivasha-Mahimai highway, and even shots were fired. Just take a look at how things unfolded.
Mara moja. Tulia.
Waraka sana.
Tulia. Kuja.
Wewe acha kona.
Tulia. Unaanza kusimamia sisi. Tulia.
Ngoja.
Buka hii nani?
Ndio kitu.
Tulia huko.
Just take a look at this video of how some traffic police officers are harassing motorists in a daily basis.
Tendi mahali kama umenishika. Record vizuri, onekane venye amenishika. Record. Wewe unacheza. Mimi niwache. Nitafuta hii gari nani? Niwache. Au nishiki hivyo, hebu niwache. Record. Wewe uko na shida, wewe utatii sana wewe. Haki ya Mungu utatii. Utatii vibaya sana. Hiyo ndio vitu na wakati mmoja. Sawa. Mimi nilipitwa na Joge. Iko nadi Onesha gari station. Onesha vizuri. Ndio mkono hapa. Ndio mkono. Onesha. Hiyo pesa ulikuwa unatafuta hata utapata.
The people of Kenya have decided to ask serious questions concerning affordable housing. Kenyans, is this a scam or not? Listen to this.
So tell me, how does this make sense?
From Ian Njoroge case withdrawn.
It's a day we've been long awaiting for, and finally it has reached.
To corrupt traffic police officers arrested. Are we eating cat? From Ian Njoroge case withdrawn.
It's a day we've been long awaiting for, and finally it has reached.
To corrupt.
Sawa.
Dear motorists.
Tulia, unaanza kusimamia sisi.
Shika. Record. Wewe unacheza. Mimi niwache. Nitafuta hii gari nani? Niwache. Au nishiki hivyo, hebu niwache. Record. Wewe uko na shida, wewe utatii sana wewe. Haki ya Mungu utatii. Utatii vibaya sana. Hiyo ndio vitu na wakati mmoja. Sawa. Mimi nilipitwa na Joge. Iko nadi Onesha gari station. Onesha vizuri. Ndio mkono hapa. Ndio mkono. Onesha. Hiyo pesa ulikuwa unatafuta hata utapata.
The people of Kenya have decided to ask serious questions concerning affordable housing. Kenyans, is this a scam or not? Listen to this.
So tell me, how does this make sense? You take my money, build a house with my money, and then tell me that I do not own that house, that if I want that house, I need to come and buy that house from you. So what's your role in this? Why shouldn't I just take my own money and then go build myself a house? Why do I need to give you that money and then have to come and buy that house from you again? How is that not a scam? How is that not a scam? Because that is what the CS has said. Affordable housing is clearly a bigger scam. Take my money, build a house with it. I don't own that house, you own that house, and then I have to come and buy that house from you. This government is a big Shylock. God have mercy on us.
It is time. It is time for the youth of Kenya to unite, come together and agree on one agenda. Kenya and Kenyans deserve better. deserve a better tomorrow, deserve a better future, development, school, health, you name it. It is time for change. And that change starts with you and I. Listen to what Paulo Kimani had to say about this.
Vijana mnajuaniaje? Na sasa hivi ile iko, let me just say this. I know I've said it before, but I'm going to say it again. Vijana lazima tuungane pamoja. Alright? Lazima tupatane. We need to move the conversation from online, just lamenting and whining. Lazima tupatane kama vijana. I don't know where, I don't know when, but it needs to be soon. To agree on agenda moja, what we want for this country. Because as it is right now, the ones running the show in the politics washaungana. Kuna bill nimeona mituma mahali, and money is being distributed among those who call themselves kingpin. Agenda ya tribalism? No. Wachana na. Agenda ya sijui wa mlima? No. We need to come together and speak as the youth of Kenya. Not just in Nairobi, Mombasa, Nakuru, Kisumu, kila mahali. Lazima tupatane tukuwe na agenda moja. But I'm going to make this very brief. That is the only way we are going to have one voice and demand a seat at the table. Alright? Thank you very much.
Tunataka barabara kutoka bypass, kutoka 44 ikuje mpaka Windsor, itoke Windsor ifike Ruaka, itoke Ruaka ikuje mpaka Limuru, itoke Limuru irudi Kino, itoke Kino irudi mpaka Njoro, ikikufika hapa Njoro ienda Digitare, itoke hapo irudi mpaka 44 tena ienda hadi bypass Kisumu.
Uongo. Thank you so much for joining us on today's show. I'm your host, Elvis Derry. See you in the next one. Bye-bye.
They're coming for you.
From former IEBC chair Wafula Chebukati passing away,
Wafula Chebukati has been officially declared as being no more family.
To President Ruto's lies detected,
wanasema hiyo barabara yote ni barabara ya World Bank.
Is poverty increasing in Kenya?
40% of Kenyans are now at the level of absolute poverty.
Governor Irungu Kangata acquires mobile dialysis truck.
They're coming for you.
Hello, how are you? Welcome back to Show New Trend. I'm of the day and my name is Elvis Derry. Kenya has had the same politicians since the 1990s. They keep on shifting camps, forming new parties and alliances to keep Kenyans hopeful for a better future. But recently, Kwame Owino from the Institute of Economic Affairs conducted a thorough research revealing the hard truth, revealing the high increase of the level of poverty in Kenya. This is what Chega Majuis had to say about this.
Listen to this. ndio wewe unafikiria some other tribes are your enemy, ufungua akili. There is this guy called Kwame Owino of Institute of Economic Affairs. They have been doing some research and taking data. And they have discovered that 40% of Kenyans are now at the level of absolute poverty. Absolute poverty. Absolute poverty means that those Kenyans cannot be able to afford a meal. 40%, we are talking about almost 20 million Kenyans now, cannot afford a meal. Again, he said another 20% are in multidimension poverty. Ile ni ile kubahatisha. Huyo sasa ni ule mtu anabahatisha, leo na kesho anaweza kula, leo na kesho ako job, hizo zingine hajui. So we are talking about 60% of Kenyans now, 60% of Kenyans now are at poverty. Yani wako kwa umaskini ya kupindukia. Wanasema kwamba that even watu wamekuwa maskini than they were in 2000, year 2000. That watu wamekuwa maskini zaidi than even walikuwa before COVID. Young people have become so poor.
Kenyans have been voting for their enemies for years without even noticing. The same faces in government positions, the same faces on ballot boxes, but yet Kenyans end up getting the same results. It is time to wake up. Just listen to what Senator Edwin Sifuna had to say.
So if you look at the current state of the country, what is the greatest threat to Kenyans? The greatest threat to Kenyans is not external. We don't need him to wield that sword against anybody, because he himself is the greatest threat to Kenyans. If you look at the year that Kenyans have had in 2023, it is the worst year. If you speak to anyone, people did not even have proper celebrations for Christmas because they don't have money. As we speak right now, many people have been unable to take their kids to school. Schools have opened. There is basically no money. If you look at the level of taxation, we don't have anything that he can use that sword to protect. That is why he wants to use it against us. When the leader of a country stands up and he tells investors that in this country there are only three options. Either you follow what I am telling you, or I send you to heaven, or I jail you, or you go back to your country. That is somebody who has been corrupted and with power. So he feels that the only thing to do is to use that sword against his own countrymen.
After announcing 2007 election results, Samuel Kivutu lived for only 2 years and 7 months. In the year 2022, after Wafula Chebukati announced the election results, he also lived for 2 years and 7 months as well. Kenyans, breaking news, IEBC chair Wafula Chebukati has passed away. So, to the next person who is going to replace Wafula Chebukati, taking the IEBC chair position, just know that the deadline is 2 years and 7 months.
Wafula Chebukati has been officially declared as being no more family. And the sad thing is, Kenyans are actually celebrating because of the anguish and the pain that has been caused by the last two rigged elections, allegedly. But the interesting thing for me, family, is why now? Okay, I know he was sick. He was really sick for the last 2 years. He's been in and out of hospital. But why today? Why now, just after they declared that they were going to be reconstituting the IEBC and Nabi was bowing to pressure and they were now starting the process? I know you guys, you think everything I see is a sacrifice, but there are no coincidences.
When our politicians work for the people diligently, we will keep on supporting and appreciating them. Governor Irungu Ngangata, Murang'a County, has decided to do the Lord's work, acquiring a mobile dialysis truck to reach patients in remote and rural areas. Kenyans, check this out. Governor Irungu Ngangata says that Kenya has a unique opportunity to transform the society through technology. The investments that need to be done to achieve this is not actually very expensive. Let's listen to this.
Yes, I think from where I see it, Kenya has a unique opportunity through which to transform the society generally and public sector generally through technology. I also think the investments that needs to be done to achieve that are not expensive as it sounds. It only requires goodwill. It only requires strategic thinking. I know Kenya has the know-how to do so. It has the right attitude to do so. And I pray in the next 10, 15 years, I think Kenya ought to be at that place where our technologies they are able to make Kenya a better place for our children, for our future, and we prosper together holistically in a more logical and in a more tech-savvy society. Thank you.
Another politician that deserves a round of applause is Member of Parliament Githunguri constituency, Gathoni wa Muchomba. Kenyans, let's take a look at this development.
Mangetu Chita Chronicles. Hapa mahali niko munaona ni kitchen, si ati niko kwa hoteli. Niko mahali inaitwa Ikinu, hapa ni Githunguri constituency, Kiambu County. Hapa is a central kitchen ambayo nasikia ilijengwa na mjumbe hapa anaitwa Gathoni wa Muchomba. This place they built a central kitchen ambayo inapikia chakula all schools ambayo iko kwa hii constituency. I'm told they are feeding over 22,000 kids. They have a program inaitwa chakula moto moto na madhe. Lazima madhe ni huyo wa Muchomba. You see, they have mpaka hii saa nimeambiwa na Yesa nikatop up hii ndio wasasi wana top up 20 bob inaitwa tap to eat. So mtoto mwenye ako shule.
From former IBC chair Wafula Chebukati passing away,
the average intelligence to ask your friends.
Unaona vile kicha ninakaa mpaka nimevalishwa kitu kwa kichwa because they are hygienic. Now let me tell you something. Maendeleo inawezekana.
Do you think Kenya is going to have a one-term president? Do you think President William Ruto is going to lose the coming elections? Honorable Anthony Kebagendi decided to be a prophet. Kenyans, listen to this.
Hivyo mimi naambia wale wajumbe tunatoka nao hapa Kisii County na Nyamira ambao wameungana na rais kugandamiza wananchi. Hawa wananchi ambao waliwapitisha wakawaweka bungeni watakutana na nyinyi tena hapo 2027. Na mimi nawaomba wananchi tusifanye makosa tena ya kuhadaiwa na Rais William Ruto. 2027 Kenya hapa itafanyika kama Marekani, itafanyika kama Nigeria. Hapa tutakuwa na a one-term president. Tuibwana nile. Si hata nyinyi mmechoka? Ni wangapi wamesema tunapeleka Ruto nyumbani? Mole tayari? Laki asante sana wacha.
Senator Edwin Sifuna has recently attacked Honorable Oscar Sudi, saying that how can President William Ruto hang out with a class 2 dropout, in the process degrading Oscar Sudi to the world. Let's listen to this.
There is very little that Ruto can do in the intervening period to save his presidency, and he knows it. That is why his allies are speaking the way that he does. That is why he is insulting the public and telling them off every turn he gets. Told us that he has a PhD and nobody should lecture him on anything. I've never seen a PhD who hangs out with class 2 dropouts, because what you do then is that you reduce the average intelligence to at least class 8. If you are just surrounded by, they say birds of a feather flock together. How are you a PhD hanging out with Sudi?
After Edwin Sifuna's statement on live TV about Oscar Sudi, Honorable Oscar Sudi being a class 2 dropout, Oscar Sudi got into his feelings and he decided to clap back.
It's you insult this one, you rubbish the other one. Oh, you know, you. So let me. Can you go and ask people or ask your friends if and ask them to tell you the truth. They will.
When news spread that Honorable Oscar Sudi is stepping back, the people did not hesitate to support and defend Edwin Sifuna, Senator Edwin Sifuna. Just listen to how the people, the comrades, were injecting at bunge la mwananchi.
Oscar Sudi ametusi Edwin Sifuna ambaye ni Secretary General wa ODM. Akamutusi stupid, sijui nini, ati Sifuna hana IQ yenye inaweza toshana na yake honestly. Ati Sifuna hana IQ yenye inaweza toshana na Oscar Sudi. Oscar Sudi anaelewa maana ya IQ, yani in full. Does Oscar Sudi know how to calculate IQ? Anajua. To calculate IQ, you take your mental age, divide by chronological age times 100. Does Oscar Sudi know that? Oscar Sudi ni level ya Edwin Sifuna. Anaweza toshana, can Oscar Sudi engage Edwin Sifuna in an intellectual discourse anywhere? Oscar Sudi aheshimu Edwin Sifuna. Edwin Sifuna sio klasi yake.
Juja Member of Parliament George Koimburi dramatically escaped on a motorcycle outside Kiambu Law Courts. His lawyer Ndegwa Njiru described this incident as a brazen abduction attempt. Kenyans, just take a look at how things unfolded.
Overcome, we shall overcome someday. Deep in our heart, we believe we shall overcome. We shall overcome.
Kenyans, do you remember this?
Ndio barabara itoke Mandera, ikuje Ramo, ikuje Gari, ikuje Elwak, ikuje Kobo, ikuje pale Kotulo, ikuje Tarbaj, ipitie hapa Wajia, iende Samatar, iteremuke Modogashe, ifike Isiolo, iende Nairobi, watu wa Northern Kenya wakae kama Wakenya wengine.
Did you know it was just a prank by President William Ruto? The Kenya Kwanza government is taking credit on World Bank funded projects. Listen to this.
World Bank is trending at number 3, and World Bank is trending at number 3, reason being Wakenya wanasema kwamba Rais Daktari William Samoei Arap Ruto anapoongelea kuhusiana na barabara ambayo itoke wapi? Isiolo. Iende wapi?
Iende Burji.
Itoke Burji iende wapi?
Iende Koasi wapi?
Iteremke wapi?
Huko kote.
Wanasema hiyo barabara yote ni barabara ya World Bank.
Okay.
World Bank walianza kuitolea hela in 2020.
Ndio.
Na hiyo barabara tayari imetengewa pesa na World Bank.
Okay.
So sio barabara ambayo rais anapaswa kuiongelea sana kana kwamba ni yeye ambaye anaishughulikia.
Okay.
Wameweka paka mapicha kutoka katika mitandao ya World Bank kabisa wa Kenya pale from Washington DC September tarehe ngapi? Tarehe 8 2020. The World Bank of Directors today approved $750 million in International Development Association financing to improve the movement of people and goods, digital connectivity and access to social services for over 3.2 million people living in the northern eastern region, where the Isiolo Mandera Regional Road Corridor traverses.
Okay, Samatar.
When President William Ruto was confronted, this is how he defended himself.
This is serious business. Ndio barabara itoke Mandera, ikuje Ramo, ikuje Gari, ikuje Elwak. The many people who sometimes enjoy me about about this is serious business. I fairly know many places. I would tell you the roads in northern Kenya, the way I would tell you the roads in central Kenya, I would tell you the roads in western Kenya, in many parts of Kenya. And it's because it's my job, you know. This is the job I applied for, to think about the country, to know what to do, where, and to make sure that no part of Kenya is left behind.
We are approaching election seasons, Kenyans. Let's not make the same mistakes that we did in previous elections. Vote wisely. Listen to what Michael Joseph said.
Kenyans have peculiar habits, you know. Here you have an election, time to register.
Yeah.
And then on the last day, there's a long lines to register. And then the government announces an extension. And everybody goes home.
And wait till the
other last day. Come on.
Talking more about elections, Cyprian Sekundi posted an opinion poll on his X page. The candidates were William Ruto, Raila Odinga, and a mosquito. And the mosquito won by 70% of the votes. This clearly shows that Kenyans prefer a mosquito to be the president rather than these corrupt individuals in government.
Lakini Kenyans nyinyi watu mnakuanga wa maajabu sana. Yani Kenyans mnakuanga tu watu wa maajabu. So pale X kuna msee unajua Cyprian Nyakundi aliweka poll katikati ya katikati ya Ruto, katikati ya Raila na Mosquito. You understand? Katikati ya Raila, Ruto na Mosquito. Mwenye saa 2027 tunaweza pigia kura. And guess nani amewin? Mosquito imewin kura against Raila Odinga and William Ruto. Aki Kenyans nyinyi. What? No. Kenyans lazima mchunguze. Hii breed ya Kenyans ni ngumu kuelewa.
Hii ID is more than just a card. It's the key to opportunities. Ni ufunguo to freedom, the change we have been waiting for. So bila ID yako msee, unajua nini itafanyika? You will be financially excluded. What do I mean by that? You will have no access to M-Pesa. You will have no access to M-Kopa phones. Like we the youths are very familiar with that. Hutaweza kufungua bank account yako, hutaweza kupata loan, hutaweza kununua shamba wala kuuza shamba. So, kwa nini hauna ID kama kijana? 2027, without your ID, you will not be able to vote. What are you doing without your ID? I will urge all of us to hold each other accountable. Uliza mzae, uliza madhe, uliza beshte yako kama kona ID. Identity yetu, Kenya ni yetu.
Thank you so much for joining us on today's show. I'm your host, Elvis Derry. See you in the next one. Bye-bye.
The problem is not the citizens of Kenya. The problem is the leadership.
Hello, how are you? Welcome back to Show New Trend. I'm of today, and my name is Elvis Derry. Despite the public outcry on extrajudicial killings and disappearances of comrades, do you think President William Ruto enjoys watching Kenyans suffer? Just listen to what Mulengi Mutete had to say.
Today, I want to tell you who Ruto is. So, for decades, they told us Moi used to take tea and go to church. Only for some of his close friends to come out later after he died to tell us how Moi was a drunkard. They told us that he used to take alcohol, but he did this with his few close wazees. So, what does that teach you? That tells you one thing, that these people are not who they want you to believe they are. They say pretenders are worse than murderers, and that is why I want to talk about Ruto today. During the campaigns, Ruto told his followers that he doesn't take alcohol. He goes to church. He is born again. He told his followers that the other camp was full of drunkards, people who take alcohol and use drugs. So, who is Ruto? If you look at William Ruto, you will get to understand few things if you are very keen. That he is not who he wants you to believe he is. And by the way, any day you meet someone who tells you, who spends a lot of time trying to describe who they are, you should know that person is hiding something from you. Because good people do not need a lot of explanation. Good people are known. Good people can be seen. Good people can be noticed. They don't need to pay bloggers and PR companies to try to tell others who they are. And so, you should know that Ruto is an hypocrite. He is a pretender. And by the way, have you looked closely at William Ruto? If you haven't, you cannot understand what I'm about to tell you. But anyway, I will tell you. If you look at Ruto, you will understand few things. First of all, his body language. Ruto's body language speaks different from what he says or wants to say. Ruto's face and head are two different things. Sometimes he looks very, very odd. He has to use some makeup. Some other times, his hair looks like it is falling away. It is falling down. Ruto's hair, does he have any? His head has some madoa-doa which you cannot understand. And these are things you can only find with drug addicts. Ruto's face, by the way, Ruto doesn't have a genuine laughter. This guy laughs sarcastically. And that should tell you why Ruto is dangerous. At some point, you might come to realize that Ruto takes alcohol and other hard drugs. And that is why he spends a lot of time telling us who he is, instead of letting us notice who he is. When Ruto is speaking, he forces himself to laugh. And this comes from people who use hard drugs like cocaine and heroin. He forces his smile, and that is why he comes out looking very bad. Ruto doesn't have a genuine laughter. Ruto is what you can call person who doesn't care about anything apart from himself. And that is why Kenyans can cry. Kenyans can say whatever they want to say. They will tell him they are suffering. They will cry to him. They will beg him to lower the prices of basic commodities. But Ruto will laugh at this. When you look at him, he will laugh and dismiss you and tell you, I am working on this. And in the near future, everything will be okay. Tell me, who speaks like that to people who are going to bed hungry? To people who are dying of hunger? This guy uses so many different things. His blood is full of different substances. When you look at him on campaign vehicles, Ruto is always concerned about what people will notice about him, his image. And that is why he spends a lot of time trying to force his body language. Have you ever met an hardcore criminal, a suspect, someone who has been charged with the most dangerous crimes? Have you ever looked at their body language? How they laugh, they tend to force themselves to laugh. All people in rehabilitation centers. Someone who tries so hard to show people who he is not, who he is, so that they cannot see the real person in him, his real character. That is what Ruto does. This guy is a dangerous human being. And that is why the lives of more than 50 million Kenyans are in danger if they don't remove this guy from office. In fact, if Ruto's wife is offered some safe place to stay with enough security and told, or rather in exchange of that, she will tell people and the world who Ruto is, you people will be shocked. She will tell you things you have never imagined, and everyone who voted for him will be shocked. That's why sometimes she comes out to the public with some injuries, and you guys just make joke of her. William Ruto is dangerous. And this is not someone who can hand over power peacefully. The only way to remove this kind of person from power is through a popular revolution where the people will take back their country. If you expect elections to remove this guy from office, you are dreaming. It will not happen. The only way to remove... History tells us that people of Ruto's character do not hand over power peacefully. They are forcibly removed from office. And that is what Kenyans should do to William Ruto if they want to take back their country. And that should happen as soon as possible.
Thank you so much for joining us on today's show. I'm your host, Elvis Derry. See you in the next one. Bye-bye.
The problem is not the citizens of Kenya. The problem is the leadership.
From crime increase in Kenya to school children forced to risk, where is taxpayers' money?
Kenyans, aren't you tired of your money being taken advantage of?
Mental health and employment among the youths.
Unfortunately, out there, we the young people are not getting those jobs.
They're coming for you.
That government or that body that is giving you that job inaku stress kabisa, so mental health yako still bado inakuwa noma sana.
Hello, how are you? Welcome back to Show New Trend. I'm of today and my name is Elvis Derry. Kenyans, dear Kenyans, are you not tired of corruption? Are you not tired of being lied to each and every day by the politicians, by the leaders that you voted for? Are you not tired? Aren't you not tired of your money being taken advantage of by the same taxes that you're paying to your government? Are you not tired, Kenyans? Like you work hard each and every day, but there's nothing to show for it. Just listen to what Charlotte had to say about this.
So recently, the Kenyan Treasury has actually asked for a supplementary budget for 88 billion Kenyan shillings. Have you heard that right? 88 billion Kenyan shillings. Now, the biggest stakeholder of this 88 billion being asked by the Treasury is State House, which is going to take 3.1 billion Kenyan shillings. And in the 3.1, 1.3, nilea, it has not been discussed. So anyone who has that 1.3 can buy a helicopter, can buy land, can just do whatever they want, and it won't be recorded in any history book ever. Out of the 88 billion Kenyan shillings, I want you to listen carefully how your money that you're paying every single month is deducted. Office of the Deputy President is going to receive 400 million Kenyan shillings. You think tumemaliza hapo? No, we're just getting started. The second one, Office of the Prime Cabinet Secretary, is receiving 132 million Kenyan shillings. Bro, this is crazy. This money is sorting out salaries and is sorting out vehicle maintenance. Vehicle maintenance, guys. Unafikiria nimemalizana? I'm just starting. The craziest thing is this. Deep breaths. There is an office of retired leaders that is being created. Guess who's there? Former President Uhuru Kenyatta is receiving 23 million Kenyan shillings. Raila, the Great, is receiving 20 million Kenyan shillings. And then there's a vice president who is not said will also be receiving 20 million Kenyan shillings. Office of the retired leaders. Can you imagine the audacity of a nation that is saying we were reducing expenditure is actually creating an office of retired leaders? Hatujachoka? We're not tired? Hamjachoka for real, hamjachoka?
In Masinga sub-county, Machakos, the community, the people there are outraged at their leaders for ignoring their pleas for a bridge, blaming Governor Vinya Ndeti, Member of Parliament Joshua Muyalo, and MCA Joshua Mwonga for inaction. Despite clear evidence of children's daily danger, no action has been taken and the residents demand urgent solution. Kenyans, just take a look at how these children are risking their lives daily to go to school and back home. The Nairobi City Council, also known as the Kanjos, they are currently walking with goons in the streets, covering their faces and harassing Kenyans. They have roughed up a pregnant lady who was selling tomatoes in the streets, to the point where they are pulling her legs side by side as if they want to tear her up. And I'm just wondering, Governor Johnson Sakaja, is this the best way to bring law and order in Nairobi CBD? Kenyans, just take a look.
Because na record. Anashika kamera. Acha kunishika. I'm recording. Anashika kamera. I'm recording. For purpose. For purpose. Wacha tu ni record. Wacha ni record video. Let me record. Wacha ni record. Wacha ni record. Na record.
And that's not all. Just recently, a woman, she fought desperately for the release of her child. After her child, she was locked up in a Kanjo's car together with her stock. Kenyans, do you remember this? While Kenyans are being frustrated each and every day just because they simply want to put food on the table, there's also high rise of mental health issues and unemployment among the youths. Kioti Sonko, also known as Mabe Mabonga, who is vying for Kimilili constituency member of parliament, he went on to address this issue, and this is what he said.
In electrical and electronic engineering,
then coming out here, my friends, kutamak left, right and center, hakuna job. And of course, as a young person, when you umepita 18 years and 18 years age, I think the government inasema you are a citizen. Yeah. So as a citizen, an adult, I mean, as an adult, you don't expect yourself to depend on parents. And so what you want to depend on ni mambo ya job. Unfortunately, out there, we the young people are not getting those jobs. So you find out, just a minute. So you find out that hata ukipata job, like now for instance, those guys who are doing the interns in the health sector, my friends, there is other day tuliona wakilala hapo nje ya ofisi ya the CS. So you find out that even as much as you get that job, hata still bado that government or that body that is giving you that job inaku stress kabisa. So mental health yako still bado inakuwa noma sana.
Because of these mental health issues and unemployment in Kenya, we have seen a high rise of depression and anxiety. And to be honest, some youths, some graduates, they end up unaliving themselves, Kenyans. Like we all know that the graduates, the Kenyan people, the young people in this country, they're highly educated, very smart, very intelligent, very innovative, and if given work, they will do it professionally. Now, I was just sad to see this video of graduates, but life is taking a toll on them. Just take a look. As much as we are talking about mental health issues and unemployment in Kenya, even those same universities that those unemployed graduates have graduated from, there's high level of corruption, looting each and every day. Like nowhere is safe in this country. Just take a look at this.
This is a rallying call to the President, to the Public Service Commission, to the Ministry of Education, Parliament, and all stakeholders of goodwill. The University of Nairobi, as we know it, is dying. That is the truth. And we say this not to create panic or gin up unnecessary attention, but out of our care as WASU for this great national strategic institution. University of Nairobi has been hijacked by buccaneers, and it is now a theater of intrigue, mendacity, with the most toxic work environment ever witnessed before. As a rule, WASU stands only by the truth, by justice, and above all by the motto of the university, United et labore, unity and work. Councils, chancellors, they come and go, and we have seen them. They come and go, but they leave the staff behind. And the staff only have the University of Nairobi to fall back to. It is that staff, it is the students and the parents who will suffer irreparable damage if this university is allowed to go down. And we fear that if nothing is done, the University of Nairobi as we know it is dying.
We all do remember how Moi University was rooted to nothing because of high levels of corruption. And I'm just wondering, what the hell is going on in these universities?
We have seen Moi University being strangled to death in our eyes. Public universities must get the protection they need. We are calling government to protect the University of Nairobi. It's a national asset that the public has invested for so long. We cannot allow it just to collapse. A chancellor prescribes and says, I do have my office on main campus to support the management of it. That is not his role and mandate. The mandate of the chancellor is found in the Universities Act. If you go to Article 38, it will tell you what is supposed. It's a titular head of the university. It's not supposed to engage in day-to-day running of the university. Secondly, what he's trying to do is actually going to yield the opposite. weakening the management of the university. Now we have 3 centers of power. At the University of Nairobi, we have the council, saber rattling from one side, we have the VC, we have the chancellor. It is so confusing. These people are weakening the management of the university in order to loot and plunder. They say it very clearly.
Because of high levels of corruption, unemployment, which is causing depression, stress, anxiety, and mental health issues among the youths in this country, among the Kenyan people, crime is also becoming rampant. In Meru, a student from the Kenya Methodist University was attacked and sustained serious injuries. And this was the second attack in just 2 weeks, where a female student was also attacked and injured. Protests are being planned, but the student council is trying to sabotage them. Kenyans, just take a look at this shocking CCTV footage. Are you not tired, Kenyans? Are you not tired of talking about corruption each and every day? Because of corruption, even our own military, they are not spared. They are using equipments I don't know from which century, while other countries are using modern technologies to protect their countries and to fight wars. Just listen to what Senator Kajwang had to say about this.
We are spending only 1% of our GDP on the military. And yet we are seeing guns pointed at Kenya from all corners. We are seeing drones pointed at Kenya from all corners. Mr. Speaker, the war in Syria has confirmed that your enemy does not need to be your neighbor. That Turkey can hammer Syria from wherever they are. That even Kenya can be hammered from Yemen. Kenya can be hammered from the UAE. This is a time for us to ask ourselves, is our military getting the right budgetary allocation? And are they making the right decisions with those budgets? Mr. Speaker, every time we go for a public holiday, we see those jets flying past. And to be honest, Mr. Speaker, since I was a little child, it is the same jets I've been seeing flying past. I wonder if there was a serious strife or any battle between Kenya and a neighboring state, whether those jets will be airworthy or whether they'll be able to go and attack the enemy. We must have that conversation. This idea of saying that the military is a closed black box that we cannot talk about, if we have a weak military, no one is going to give us respect. You have seen instances where in the old saying that the tail can wag a dog. You are seeing a tiny country, and I'm not going to mention names, a tiny country being able to ambush, attack, invade, and overthrow the president of another country which is 100 times its size. Mr. Speaker, this is a conversation we must have.
Another corruption scandal is taking place in front of our eyes, Kenyans, where a contractor was paid 80 million shillings to construct Cameroon Stadium. But when you go there, there's nothing to see, there's nothing to show for it. And the same contractor is being added another 100 million this year, Kenyans. This year. And I'm just wondering, where are we heading to as a country? Just take a look at this. While mental health issues and unemployment is on the rise in the Republic of Kenya, some politicians are enjoying life. They are shopping life to the fullest. Recently, Millicent Omanga has given herself an Audi RSQ8. And I'm just wondering, is this the taxpayers' money? When Raila Amolo Odinga lost the African Union Commission chairmanship to Djibouti's Mohamed Ali Yusuf, Kenyans celebrated. Many Kenyans were happy. And let me tell you, in fact, Kenyans were supporting Mohamed Ali Yusuf to win the AU seat. And why is that? Just listen to this.
Raila losing is the best thing that could have happened when it comes to Kenyan politics. We are literally saying no when it comes to all despots. When it comes to people who have been at the helm of Kenyan politics, just taking advantage of people, taking advantage of the economy, taking advantage of people's deaths, taking advantage of people being kidnapped and abducted, and screwing people over just so that they can get money and so that they can stay at the helm of power. Those times are gone. I mean, the Uhurus, the Matiangis, the Rutos, the Kalonzos, the Mudavadis, all these people who have been at the helm of Kenyan politics doing nothing should not get any political power, even outside the country. Did you people see the entourage that the winner, the guy from Djibouti, actually went with, and the entourage that Raila went with? Raila went with more, I think more than 30 people, because I saw a list. Because why was Karenyamu there? Ati Kasmuel? So walienda kufanya nini? Were they needed? Was it necessary? And these people were funded by taxpayers' money. All those people who got on that plane to go and see Raila losing was funded on taxpayers' money.
And even those Kenyans who were supporting Raila Amolo Odinga to win the African Union Commission chairmanship, they were highly disappointed. And this is what the ground was saying. Take a look.
Nimesikia watu wakisema eti Ruto amesimama na baba, amesimama na baba. Ruto amesimama na baba kwa hii muda tu mfupi. Sijui, I don't know how many months. Na ame lose. Kalonzo amesimama na baba for how long? For how many years? They have been losing. So the outcome is still the same. Kalonzo and Ruto are still the same. They have no effect on Baba. So you can't come here and tell us that Ruto has stood with Baba for this UCC so that Ruto is going to be elected for 10 years. It does not make sense. So Baba should be fair. The propaganda they are coming with that Ruto stood with Baba for this UCC does not make sense as compared to how Kalonzo stood with Baba.
What we can request Baba to do once he lands back to Kenya, he should put down the political pressure down by coming, declaring somebody to take the wheel of the role he was playing. I don't expect Baba to come back again to challenge the people at his Mara, oh, vijana nini nini nini. He should take a neutral stand by the time he's getting back to the country, since he has failed us. He has really disappointed me, and not only me, plus other people who are supporting Baba. You've really failed us.
To be honest, the ground is becoming hostile and the pressure is increasing day by day. And the people of Kenya are tired. The people are tired of these politicians, corruptions, and unemployment, mental health issues, crime, and so much more. Just listen to this.
Someone is saying that Raila should not be touched. This is the first person that should go home. Raila worked with Moi, he worked with Kibaki, he worked with Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta. As per now, he's the pocket of William Samoei Ruto. He's the same person who suspended Ruto in 2008 when Ruto was in the Ministry of Agriculture and he sold 7 billion. Raila suspended him. He didn't return those money. As per now, they're working together. Kenya cannot even be redeemed by Raila Amolo Odinga. Kenya cannot be redeemed by William Samoei Ruto because he has messed. Kenya cannot be redeemed with the Rigathi Gachagua and the likes. Yes. We as Genesis, we have 16 million votes and we are not afraid. I want to tell you for free, we are coming one-on-one to meet these people. Bro, coming 2027, this guy used churches in 2022. He gave pastors something small. He gave them some sweets. Pastors gave in and campaigned for him in churches. He came to Mama Mboga. He knew Mama Mboga is having votes because he's having customers. Can lure for them some small fish, some omena. By 2027, Gen Z have a candidate which is going to meet William Samoei Ruto. But these cocoons, they are gathering together. Nothing.
And the question of the day is, Kenyans, do you think that William Samoei Ruto is trying to use tribalism to win the coming election, to win the next election? Just listen to what our brother had to say about this.
Ruto ameanza kuleta ukabila Kenya. Now that is the scorecard that he is planning to use to win elections. Of course, he ameweza kudivide communities. He has been able to bring animosity amongst two communities in Kenya. Kikuyu versus Somalis, Kikuyus versus the Luos. Na amesucceed kuleta shida kwa Wasomali kuchukia wa Kikuyu. Isipokuwa hao hapa Isiolo Mount Kenya. Wale wengine wa Garissa na Mandera wameambiwa kwao huwa kunakosa kunyesha kwa sababu ya Wakikuyu. Na hiyo jua ambayo inawa affect ni Wakikuyu wanaleta. Wakikuyu wakiondoka kwa serikali for 200 years kutanyesha kila siku. Hiyo haiwezi nishtua kwa sababu wa Somali is a special community, kuelewa ni ngumu. Ile imenishida kuelewa ni ya Wajaluo. A community that has professors, doctors. A community that speak English as if it's their native language. Wamedanganywa Wakikuyu kukosa kupiga kura Addis Ababa ndio imefanya baba ashidwe. A community that has been eating fish omega 3 kwa akili wako na omega 3 ya kutosha ya kufikiria. Wamedanganywa kama watoto. Initially Ruto alijaribu kudivide Mount Kenya, akajaribu counties, planting kingpins, Murang'a, Kirinyaga, ikashindikana. Akaenda kuleta regional problems, Mount Kenya East, wa Meru, wa Embu, wa Kikuyu, ikashindikana. Rigathi Gachagua akakuwa sacrificial lamb. Akajaribu kuleta shida kati ya Wakamba na Wakikuyu, akaleta Motuse. Wakikuyu wakaona ni ujiga huo, hawezi chukia Wakamba kwa sababu ya Motuse. Ikashindikana. Akaenda kwa Wabaluya, naye Rigathi Gachagua dakika 2 akamaliza hiyo na Musagarire. Wabaluya wakarudi line proper. Sasa anajaribu sasa kuleta Wakisii against Kikuyus. Na hiyo itashindikana kwa sababu Wakikuyu na Wakisii share a common origin. Iko damu inatushikanisha na huwezi wagawanisha. Tunaweza kuwa tumegawanya na milima na mabonde, lakini huwezi gawanyisha. Asa tena ataenda kwa Wamasai. Na Wamasai wanajua vizuri, we share a very long history with them. Kwa hivyo pia hiyo itashindikana. Gogoyo utusaidie huko. Ile ingine ni ya Wakalenjin versus Kikuyus, atamaliza na hiyo. Lakini Wakipsigis wamekataa kabisa. Wakipsigis, they are educated people, wanaona bele. Wanaona huyu mtu ndiye akona shida. And I'm telling Ruto, this is the end. Hakuna community ingine, tosheka na Waluo na Wasomali sasa. Hakuna ingine utajaribu kudivide na sisi.
Thank you so much for joining us on today's show. I'm your host, Elvis Derry. See you in the next one. Bye-bye.
That government or that body that is giving you that job inaku stress kabisa. So mental health yako still bado inakuwa noma sana.
They're coming for you.
The problem is not the citizens of Kenya. The problem is the leadership.
From Marara Kebaso injecting.
Uhuru Kenyatta and Matiang'i should not come close to the State House.
Okay. To Sudan's RSF parallel government set up in Kenya.
What we want, just when we want it, right now.
What is period poverty?
What is period poverty?
Oscar Sudi at the wrong place.
They're coming for you.
We have forgotten, and Kenyans should stop being forgetful. Okay. That we lost 24.6 billion shillings.
Hello, how are you? Welcome back to Show New Trend. I'm of Day and my name is Elvis Dairy. Kenyans, what is the RSF, the Rapid Support Forces? This is a paramilitary force formerly operated by the government of Sudan, and the Kenyan people are very worried and very concerned. After this force, they met at Nairobi's KCC to launch a parallel government.
A diplomatic row is brewing between Kenya, the US, and Sudan. Why, you may ask? So Kenya has today opened the doors of one of its most iconic installations, the Kenyatta International Conference Center, to the Hamdan Dagalo-led Rapid Support Forces and other allied forces who are going to sign the Sudan Founding Charter, which essentially will form a parallel government. They are calling it a peace and unity government. So why are people saying this is a serious diplomatic mistake from Kenya? And why is Washington not going to be so amused by this move by the Kenya government? So this guy, Hamdan Dagalo, is currently sanctioned by the US government. Why? The Rapid Support Forces, which he leads, are accused of committing serious war crimes amounting to genocide in Sudan. And last year, the Kenyan government cancelled a press briefing they were set to hold at the last minute after Washington released a statement regarding those sanctions. And then, of course, in January, President William Ruto met Sudan's foreign minister and assured that foreign minister that they were not going to allow the Rapid Support Forces to form a parallel government from Nairobi. But now, here we are. The crowd is already gathering at the KICC. An invitation has already been sent to media houses, and it is more than clear that that parallel government is going to be formed in Nairobi. So what changed, you may ask? The Sudan conflict and Kenya's involvement in it is said to have been a serious thorny issue, especially during the AUC election campaigns. And now that that is in the past, the Kenyan government seems to have nothing to lose. And some people argue that that could be the main reason why Kenya has now opened its doors to the RSF and the formation of that peace and unity government by those allied forces in Sudan. What do you think about this move from the Kenyan government?
How can a rebel force enter the Kenyan territory and launch and form a parallel government? This is very worrisome. Listen to what Dr. Mumbi Saraki had to say about this.
Kenyans are shocked to see Nabi allow a rebel nene from Sudan, RSF, to actually come to KICC and set up a parallel government. And guess what? The Alphabet Boys knew about this a month ago. This is probably one of the reasons why Baba was rejected. Another reason why Baba was rejected. But I'm telling you, family, Nabi isn't just operating on his own. He's under someone. And I actually think Meggy is his handler, and the Alphabet Boys who installed him into power are the ones giving him instructions, because then they're being chased away. They're trying to find strongholds. Don't you remember Meggy bringing the arms dealer from the divided states and stuff, and they took pictures? You don't think all of this is connected?
Just take a look at some of these scenes that took place at Nairobi KCC building. Election season is around the corner, just a year and a few months, and many Kenyans want new faces in the coming government. So, who do you think will be worthy to be given the keys to State House after the next elections? Listen to this.
Nilikuwa naendelea kuzungumzia mambo ya Uhuru Kenyatta na ni kwa nini Uhuru Kenyatta na Matiang'i should not come close to the State House.
Okay, why?
Nikakwambia kuhusu NYS kwamba tuliambiwa kwamba ni 1.9 billion ilipotea, lakini ilikuwa zaidi ya bilioni 20. We have forgotten, and Kenyans should stop being forgetful, that we lost 24.6 billion shillings kwa mradi wa laptops za watoto. Saa hizi hakuna mtoto wa primary ama lower primary ambaye ako na laptop. Yet we lost 24.6 billion. We should not forget that under Uhuru Kenyatta 1.9 billion shillings ililipwa under the NCPB, National Cereals and Produce Board, to fake farmers that were not existing. We should not forget that we lost, what is on the report is that we lost 2 billion for BBI, Building Bridges Initiative. But actually, we lost more than 10 billion. Kumbuka kwamba MCAs Kenya mzima walipewa grant ya kununua gari ya milioni 2. Can you imagine 2,200 MCAs? Everybody received 2 million shillings. That's more than 4.5 billion.
Kenyans, do you think these politicians should take a pay cut? Like, they're being paid high amounts of money, but yet there's no evidence of them working for the people. But corruption is the order of the day. Listen to this.
What do members of parliament do to deserve a salary of 700,000? Surely. What do the members of county assembly do to deserve a salary of 160-something thousand Kenya shillings? Members of parliament don't go to those houses. They don't speak. Members of county assembly don't go to the county assemblies. They don't even feel it. They don't speak. Some of them can't even read and write. They're very empty at head. In fact, the National Assembly and some of the county assemblies are where you find some of the most uneducated idiots who can't even articulate issues. They can't even discuss issues affecting the common citizens that they purport to be leading. In fact, if doctors, teachers, and police officers are being paid what they're being paid, then all these politicians should take a pay cut. No member of parliament deserves to get anything above 350,000. No member of county assembly deserves to get anything above 100,000. If we do this, it will be a very good lesson for all those willing to join politics in the future to know that you go there to work for people, service for people, not to balloon your stomachs and live a very lavish lifestyle on Kenyan taxes.
I'm talking about uneducated idiots. Kenyans, take a look at this video of Honorable Oscar Sudi swearing in.
I, Oscar Kipchumba Sudi, having been elected a member of National Assembly, do swear in the name of the mighty God that I will bear truly faith, discharge the people alleged to the faithful alleged to the people and public of Kenya. I will obey, respect, uphold, serve, protect, and defend this Constitution of the Republic of Kenya, and I will faithfully, consistently discharge the duties of Member of Parliament. So help me God.
So many vijana, muongeze pia bidii.
By the way, that is the last time that Oscar Sudi spoke in Parliament. He even went to class to study, but yet he couldn't understand and get anything.
We say neither nor. Neither nor. In a sentence, he is neither interested nor willing to participate. Can we read together, class? He is neither interested nor willing to participate. Can we read together again? He is neither interested nor willing to participate.
As we continue, I want to show you guys a rare video of Oscar Sudi back in the days when he's still a young boy in school. Take a look.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15.
Jokes aside, our public schools are in a mess, in a serious mess, Kenyans. In Kiambaa constituency, Muchata Primary School is in a sad state. Like I'm just wondering, how can our children, our own Kenyan children, learn in such an environment? Just take a look.
I'm still in Muchata Primary. Hizi ndo choo.
za Moshadha Primary. Ndio hizi hapa. Si wanasema kila kitu ni uongo. Wanapaka rangi darasa moja, wanapost kila mahali. Ati wiroronekana. What is this? What is this? We are in 20th century. Kazi ya Kawanjiko ni kwenda kwa parliament kusema yes, kupigwa picha na Ruto na Raila ndio wapate vitu za kupost TikTok, lakini kazi hakuna kazi amefanya. Akipaka class moja rangi inapostiwa kwa group zote Kenya mzima. Na bloggers. MP ameinvest with bloggers. Sio kufanyia watu kazi. Ameinvest with bloggers. This is Moshadha Primary toilets, my friends. Na tukiongea wanasema ati tunatukana, sijui tunaonea Kawanjiko, sijui nini. What is this? Watoto wetu wanaenda kwa hizi choo. You can imagine. You can imagine. Na yeye kazi yake ni kupigwa picha na Ruto. Now and then. He's royal to Ruto. Wako na pesa, wako na president, wako na pesa. This is the situation in Moshadha Primary. Sijui kama watazi demolish leo ndo watu wasikuje kuziona. But this is the situation in Moshadha Primary.
What a sad state of affair. I really weep for my country, Kenya. Like Kenya and the Kenyan people and our children, they deserve better than this. Just take a look at this video of this road in a very shameful and in a very poor condition.
This is one of grassroots data collection of Kia Mtata PEC committee, and we came to the Magadi ward. And guys, this is a road. This is a road. You see this? This is a road. And one of the biggest problem in this area is roads. Every person talks about roads. So many people have died being taken to hospital. There's no hospital on this side. So imagine someone being transported from this side. This is flooded. Many people have died because they have no roads. This is actually Kajiado West, Guruman area. This constituency in Kajiado County, no roads, guys. This is a road. This is it. This is a road. Children going to school, pregnant mothers have died. This side is no hospital. The hospital was washed away, so they are supposed to be taken to hospital way far, and there's totally no roads. This is Kenya, guys. This is Kenya. This is a road in Kenya, Kajiado County. We are in a serious problem. We need to do something as the people of Kenya, especially for the Maasai community.
These politicians are no longer hiding corruption anymore. Like they're just doing it in the open space, in the open air for the world and the people to see. That even foreigners who are coming to Kenya, they're trolling our country. Kenyans have filed a petition in court challenging President William Ruto's mental fitness, citing excessive lies and leadership failures. They have requested Chief Justice Martha Koome to establish a bench to assess President William Ruto's mental fitness. Just take a look.
He's mentally sick. He's completely out of touch with reality. Who knows a person who has lied 50 times? Forget 5,000. 50 times. Does anybody know mtu amekudanganya mara 50? Ruto ako na 5,000. Huyo jamaa ni mgonjwa. Yaani kila siku. Kila siku. Tuko na Germany, tuko na Swimming Lions, tuko na Parliament of Bamboo. This guys. Tuko na people are not abducted. People are not abducted. Kindiki anatuambia there was gunshot that came from the police, but we cannot tell whether the killing was a result of that. These people are not even trying now. They are just telling blatant lies. Walishika jamaa wa Kwari in a record 24 hours. Record 24 hours. Na aka escape. Didmas Baraza aliua mtu, in fact ilikuwa ni kwa news. Yeye hawajui kwenye yako, hawajawahi ona hiyo kesi yake, hata hawajawahi mpata.
Ladies, since when did having periods become shameful? Is it not a sign of fertility? Like, I think it's high time for to ban all NGOs that are in Kenya and save our girls, our women from humiliation. Gloria Orba, she went on to erect a billboard humiliating and shaming our girls, our women. Just take a look.
Look at this. What is period poverty? Kuna vitu zingine za ujinga tunafanya hii country. What is period poverty? What do you mean, cheesy?
Do you remember that day when Gloria Orba, she went to parliament during her periods? Like, where did we fail as the voters? Just take a look.
So having period is never a crime. How to handle those periods is where we begin to differ.
A woman on her period caused quite a stir in the Kenyan parliament because she wasn't wearing this. I am talking of Gloria Orboba, a senator in Kenya who has been criticized by other MPs, including women senators, for showing up to the parliament in her blood-stained pants. And for this, she was asked to leave the floor.
Indeed, if you read the Bible and even the Quran, if a woman is going through her periods, they're not even allowed to touch the Bible or the Quran. So you cannot say that being discriminated against. So Senator Gloria, I sympathize with you that you're going through the natural act of menstruation. You have stained your wonderful suit. I'm not asking you to leave because you're out of order, but I'm asking you to leave so that you go change and come back with a cloth that is not stained.
Kenyans, what kind of politicians did you vote for? Like, seriously? Mutahi Kagwe went on to send a strong message to President William Ruto and Raila Odinga, telling them not to take their positions so strongly. It is just temporary. Listen to this.
Never take your position, the position that you hold, so strongly that if you do not have that position, then you are nothing. The position you hold is just a position. Whether you are the president, member of parliament, a big person on the judiciary, is just a position. The final day will be you alone and you without a position. If we can be like Judy, who did so many things yet remained so humble. It's amazing. For me, it's just amazing. When I heard people talk about her and I just thought about her as my daughter, it's absolutely amazing. I can see Judy doing this. I can see Judy getting up there and wondering whether there might be a few people in hell who have been taken there by mistake. And her wanting to take those cases for them instantly and immediately.
Nairobi's Governor Sakaja was asked a very simple question: what he thinks about the anger directed towards the government, and this is how he answered this question.
What are your thoughts on the current political anger directed towards the government?
My thoughts is the expression of anger by the public should not be ignored. We should listen. Government should listen at all levels, national government, county government. We should not look for excuses and say that this is driven politically or it is funded or whatnot, because where there is smoke, there is fire. People have great expectations, and you can look at it positively or negatively. For me, whenever there's, and I get a lot of it, I try to see what is the source of it, what can I do about it as a governor. And so let us not also react with anger towards Kenyans. Let's not speak with arrogance and pride. It never works. It never works. So I mean, let's have our ear on the ground, and you will see it changing because people are genuine. I believe Kenyans are honest people. They can and they're not fools. You know, they can know when what you're saying is correct or when it is not.
Our entertainment industry, the music industry, is in total shambles. A former MCA and a musician in Bungoma County complains of how musicians are being mistreated in Kenya. Just listen to what he had to say.
Kukosea wapi Ruto? President, sisi kama wasanii tulikukosea wapi? Wacha nitoe tu nguo. Mnione uchi yangu, mnione uchi. Yaani president. Mtu anaitwa Ezekiel Mutua anatumia judiciary. Ana manipulate judiciary kutumaliza sisi wanamuziki. Tamu ya watu kukaa kwa ofisi iliisha. Tukasema tuende uchaguzi wakakataa. Saa hii wameenda kotini, kuna mtu anaitwa Njoki Mwangi. Amesema tuende kwa ofisi kama interim board. Saa hii tena amerula amesema hapana. Hapana wasiingie. Tunafanya nini? Tunacheza mchezo drama ya nini? Sisi wanamuziki tulikosea nini? Mungu Baba, tulikosea wapi?
Yani sisi tulikosea wapi Mungu Baba tusamee. Wanamuziki tulikosea wapi Mungu? Ewe Baba, wajua sababu kwa nini tuyapitie haya. Mungu Baba, we wajua sababu kwa nini tuyapitie. Yani niulize, mtu anaitwa Ezekiel Mutua na mtu anaitwa Kubasu Law Firm.
To be honest, Kenya needs to be restarted. We need to start afresh as a country. We need a new government that will serve the people of Kenya with integrity. Just listen to how this man of God injected.
Speak truth to power. If some things are wrong, they are wrong. Abductions are real. We have a leadership that has become very unresponsive, very defensive on their position and whatever they want to do. When you see a father going to court, coming all the way from Embu, coming to court with the hope that they will produce his son, even if in chains, at least he will have seen his son. And the father, of course, the son doesn't show up. And the father is so broken, cries in front of the whole world like a baby, saying, I just want to see my son. That should prick our conscience, friends. These things are real. So it upsets some of us when you hear a whole elected politician claiming that there's nothing like abductions in this country. In fact, suggesting that, oh no, maybe some of those young people are somewhere in an Airbnb hanging out with their lovers, and then after a few days they will come out and then tell us that they were abducted. How irresponsible can we be? Agencies? This journey that you began last year cannot stop now. It must stop at the ballot box.
Tunajua kuna zingine pia tukiangalia tu kweli. Hii nchi yetu pia iko pabaya, kusema tu kweli. Tunaumia sote, sisi wananchi na nyinyi pia kama mapolisi, ndio? Kila mtu. Shida ikitushika, shida hakuna njia ya generali, hakuna njia ya polisi, si ndio? Tukiumia tunaumia wote. And remember that if we have good leadership, tukiwa na nini nzuri, nchi nzuri, wote tutakuwa mahali poa. Ya? Wazazi wetu wote wanalia huko nyumbani, hawawezi enda usiku, wote wanaumia. Wakikufa hata sisi wetu wanakufa. Hii ndio mlipiga kura. Hakuna mtu asikii vizuri. Naona.
Kwanza siku wa Kenya wangeambilika. Sisi ndio mlipiga kura. Sisi we don't even vote, tunawachunga. Mnatuingiza kwa noma na
ni sawa, but sasa hata ukiangalia
nikichunga kura.
Ukiangalia
umeingiza huyo mudi. Mnamgeuka sasa. What are we supposed to do? Mtoka wapi akikuja hapa? Hariu ndio naambia hivi. Hapa ni kunyamba kila siku. Watanyamba sana. Yako na gari yake. Sisi hatujui hivyo. Chuka wewe, chukeni video. Ngoja hapa pale.
Thank you so much for joining us on today's show. I'm your host, Elvis Derry. See you in the next one. Bye-bye.
We have forgotten, and Kenyans should stop being forgetful. Okay. That we lost 24.6 billion shillings.
From Ian Njoroge case withdrawn.
It's a day we've been long awaiting for, and finally it has reached.
To corrupt traffic police officers arrested. Are we eating cat meat?
Jamaa amebeba paka imekufa kwa kagunia.
School children tear gassed.
Anguka na.
They're coming for you.
Hello, how are you? Welcome back to Show New Trend. I'm of the day and my name is Elvis Dairy. Ian Njoroge, aka The GOAT, has finally been set free after his case of assault towards a police officer has been withdrawn. Police Corporal Jacob Ogendo forgave Ian Njoroge after Mike Sonko's intervention, and this is what Ian Njoroge had to say after his release. Listen to this.
First of all, thank the Lord for this day. It's a day we've been long awaiting for, and finally it has reached. For all the support I've received from, especially from former Governor Mike Sonko, he's been with us to the core until to the last time. I really thank him for all the help he's given us. For my parents too, my mother, my father, for the support they've been with me, and all parties involved. Thank you, and may God bless you all.
The DPP also withdrew robbery with violence case against Comrade Ian Njoroge. The legal team was led by Wakili Duncan Okach, Ken Echeza, Angela Wanjiru, and the assistant Angela Kamau. And this is what Mike Sonko had to say.
The lawyers have covered everything. Ian, the mother, managed to thank Corporal Jacob Ogendo for the good gesture he has portrayed. You know very well he was my bodyguard when I was an MP. So we are very thankful. We also want to thank the judiciary. We want to thank the DPP, the lawyers. We all of us saw this process together as a team. Kwa hivyo yetu ni kuwashukuru. Na sana sana Ogendo, you are a parent. Thank you very much for what you have done to Ian. Na wewe Ian, enda kwa kwa kijana mzuri. Sawa sawa. Next time unapiga askari kuna chuma unaelewa? So cheza chini, punguza hasira. You're still a young boy, you have a long way to go. Sawa? Yeah. Be good. Tuendelee na maisha. Thank you very much.
So before you continue, just take a look at this video of Ian Njoroge, Comrade Ian Njoroge injecting.
God.
Drama ensued in Kitui County after Ikanga MCA Cyrus Kisavi was dramatically arrested by DCI detectives. Just take a look at this.
Kwa nini mna abduct mtu wetu? Kwa nini mnafanya abduction pachama? Wewe nyinyi akina nani? Nyinyi akina nani mnafanya abduction? Wewe mjintroduce bwana. Wewe kubwa. Nyinyi ni akina nani? Introduction si mbaya. Hiyo ni abduction bwana. Hapana. Kwa nini mtampea ajilete? Kwa nini mnakuja kufanya abduction leo tuko na mambo ya chama? Hapana, hii ni abduction bwana.
So, if you ask yourselves Kenyans, why is Ikanga Ward MCA Cyrus Kisavi Musyoka being arrested? He will be arraigned in Kitui law courts over allegations of forging vehicle documents to defraud the county assembly of 2.2 million shillings Kenyans. He is accused of submitting false documents for reimbursement. The case stems from a complaint by Rose Kivate Ngoima, leading the DPP to recommend 5 charges, including conspiracy to commit a felony and forgery. This is clear that even sometimes the voters can be wrong. Next time, 2024, vote wisely and make sure the Gen Zs, the young people out there, take your IDs as early as possible.
My fellow young people, the Gen Z, it is high time we understand the politics of our country. We must understand what role politics play in our lives. And until we get politically mature, we will always be maneuvered, swayed, or deceived into supporting people politically, those who don't have Kenyan interest at heart.
Are you a lover of street foods? Chief Environment Officer Geoffrey Mosiria, he caught a man with a dead cat inside a bag, which was going to be allegedly used to prepare street foods, especially Mutura delicacy. Kenyans, just take a look at this.
So, wait, mkiangalia hapa ni town. Tumepata jamaa amekaa hapa. na jamaa kona paka imekufa. Jamaa amebeba paka imekufa kwa kagunia.
Nimeandika
bana. Ameandika. Jamaa angalia. Hai. Mkiangalia hapa ni jamaa town katikati. Mtu tumempata amekaa hapa na paka imekufa. Ni kama alikuwa anataka kuenda sijui kuikula ama kuifanyia nini?
Hapana, yeye anaenda kuchanganya na mutura. Ambapo mnakula mutura. Kumbe hiyo mutura ni paka, sawa? Huyu mjamaa alikuwa amekachora, sawa? Alikuwa amekachora. Sasa ni kitu ajui. Si ndio? Alikuwa amesunda hapa Masai ifike asongeshe ripo. Sawa, ukikuja Masai kula mutura, baada paka kumbe umekunywa paka.
Si ndio? Hiyo ni ukweli. Hiyo ni ukweli.
Hiyo ndio ukweli.
Hivyo ndio kwamba. Hivyo ndio kwamba vijana wa mtaa wameniambia hivi. Ati huyu jamaa alikuwa amekasunda hapo, anategea matime zake zifike. Alafu apime hiyo rienga aende nao wapi?
Hata unaona kitu shuka bama uone.
Ana kikosi mama. So hii ni motorai. Hii
ni motorai.
Police officers in Meru County fired tear gas at Njukinjiru Primary School, causing panic among pupils as they choked on fumes. Officers were dispersing Nkabune residents protesting poor road conditions when demonstrators sought refuge in the school. Police officers followed and threw tear gas canisters, exposing school children to harmful smoke during class. Just take a look at this. And that's not all, Kenyans. A steel company called Tononoka in Mole Mode is emitting poisonous gases and radioactive materials, which will eventually biologically cause breathing complications to the residents. Just check this out.
Wow. Tononoka jo.
Hii inakaa mawingu.
Hebu imagine watu wanaishi kwa ile goro man.
Hata kuwa watu wa watu.
Mole matuna CSR nini?
Viongozi huku ni kama walidedi man.
We. Wow. Tononoka jo.
We all know MCA Robert Alai, who is also a blogger. He has publicly admitted that he is a blogger for hire, like he's being paid to post stories in his social media handles. Let's listen to what he had to say.
Before you became an MCA, many people knew Robert Alai as a blogger.
Yes.
Have you ever been paid to publish something about someone or an organization on your social media pages?
Who is not paid?
Oh, okay.
Not, for you to do everything in this world, you are paid. But paid by who?
Okay.
Are you paying yourself? Are you finding ways of monetizing your